Radio Raw here with Johnny Nelson, finally back in your backyard here in London.
Well, it's like I'm your shadow. I'm following you everywhere. We're in America, you're in England.
That's just because you're bigger than me.
Yeah, you're going to get a British passport. That's how it's going to roll, man.
Hey, I might need one considering what's happening on the other side of the pond.
Yeah.
We're on the cusp of maybe one of the guys who could upset the apple cart for this Wilder-Joshua hopeful fight down the line, right? And I'm not even talking about Parker. Yeah. I'm talking about Dillian Whyte or even Lucas Brown. Mm-hmm. Comes up this Saturday. That's my first question. Do you think either one of these guys could maybe get a fight with get a fight with Joshua or Wilder and throw everybody's plans off?
You look on social media, it was only yesterday, Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte were showing some fight love, basically saying they were hoping each other would win. Anthony Joshua said, we know we're going to fight each other again. That's a massive fight over here in the UK because of what was attached to it. Two fighters are emotionally involved. They hate each other. And I mean, this is proper beef, proper street beef. This isn't pretend beef. So these guys, everybody wants to see them fight again. So potentially, this is what could happen.
For the rematch, though, if it did happen, does Dillian Whyte come in better than he did in the first fight?
Without a doubt.
And can he win?
Yeah, listen, he learns from what happened the last fight, and so does Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua made a mistake. He got wobbled because he was emotionally involved. He wanted to do impress. He wanted to put him in his place. For Dillian was relatively inexperienced, as Anthony Joshua was. Now he's dealing with the pressure. Now he's dealing with the attention. Now he's dealing with the fame that's come across to it. Now he's dealing with being the underdog. He doesn't mind playing the villain. He knows his place. He knows what he's doing. He's getting in against Lucas Brown. Lucas Brown, this is a tough fight for Dillian because he's either going to go in there and want to give the fans what they want and have an exciting fight. In doing that, he's going to give a man a chance that shouldn't have one. Because Lucas Brown's not the best technical fighter, but he can bang. This guy can punch. He's got 12 rounds to punch Dillian Whyte once. And he does it, he gets rid of him. One solid shot, he gets rid of him. So Dillian has to risk that or think, right, I want to think long term. I want to box for the world title. It puts me at number one in a couple of the governing bodies. I'm going to have to box safe, box smart. And I could see him outboxing Lucas. But because he gets a red mist now and again, I can see him getting drawn into a fight. And Brown knows that. And so therefore, Brown's depending on that. And that's why I'm saying this fight can be as hard or as easy as Whyte makes it. How much experience has he gone through to think, right, do I win, but win okay tonight? Or do I try and put on a show for the fans? He's got to think long term. He's got to think smart. He's got to think, I've got to box this guy. Box and punch, box and punch. Don't get involved in the tear-up. Because if he boxes him like he boxed Derek Chisora, he gets knocked out.
We didn't get a chance to talk after the Wilder-Ortiz fight. Before, I think our predictions were quite correct on what a good fight it would be and how close it could get. In that 7th round, it looked like it could have been the end for Wilder. Does that experience make him a better fighter? Does it show cracks that can be now exposed that maybe we didn't know about before? What's your measure of him
Let me
after?
put the record straight with this. Now, when Deontay Wilder picked this fight, he went up in my estimations because Ortiz was a fighter that everybody developed amnesia about. Nobody wanted to know. Nobody wanted to fight him. He was like number 5, number 6 in the world. Nobody wanted to know. This guy then failed a drug test, and Wilder still said, I want to fight him. You look at Ortiz's pedigree, you think, oh my God, you sure? Now on paper, I thought Ortiz should beat Wilder. He has a pedigree, he has a background, he has everything going for him. He's a southpaw, this guy can punch, he can dig, everything. Wilder said, I want that fight. So picking that fight alone went up in my estimations. Again, how he conducted himself throughout the fight, how he dealt with Ortiz, to me, he went up again because, one, he showed cojones. When he got hit, when he got hurt, he didn't bubble, he didn't go to fight or flight. It was fight or flight. He went to fight, and he staggered his way through a couple of rounds, but then came back and got rid of Ortiz and got rid of him in a fashion you thought, you know what? I'd rate you. He's gone up in my estimation. So before that fight, I'd have said it was 60-40 to Joshua fighting Wilder. Now I'm saying it's 50-50. He showed guts, he showed heart, he showed stamina, he showed punch power, he showed attitude. There's only a handful of fighters in the world that are called world champions that actually believe they are the best in the world.
Does Joshua get out of that 7th round the way Wilder did?
And that's my point. So we saw Joshua do it against Klitschko, but Klitschko was older. Klitschko couldn't go up again. Now we've got 2 young, undefeated, big units that can punch, that can fight, that have got hearts of a lion, that want to get in the mix. So now, can either of them afford to be in that position? So if Wilder was in that position and Joshua hit him in the 7th round, when Joshua hits you, you stay hit. If Joshua was in that position and he had Wilder had the spring, the energy to jump on him, not like Klitschko didn't. And so therefore, this is so even. It's untrue, and that's why when I saw it, I thought, I'm struggling. It's a pick'em. I'm struggling, and to me, that will be the biggest fight in the world. Now, I'm not dissing Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's not boxed for 3 years, so we don't know what Tyson Fury or who Tyson Fury is until he gets in the ring again. Then we can assess who he is and what he's capable of doing. He's now talking the talk. He's saying all the right things. He's getting in the meeting. People are interested. I want to see him in the ring fight. I want to see, right, he's back. He's been out the ring 3 years.
I don't want to let go of Ortiz just yet because in a perfect world, to me, I think he did enough to deserve a rematch with Wilder, which he won't get.
Yeah.
But does he deserve a shot at Joshua? I mean, Hearn had him. They never made the fight. He's obviously still a viable contender. Hearn wants Dylan White to get Wilder. Why not Ortiz Joshua?
Ortiz, Joshua, Ortiz, Wilder, they need to forget that. Because the guy is dangerous. Why? It's about risk and reward.
Yeah.
Right. So the risk outweighs the reward, and that's why I said when Wilder boxed him, I thought, "What are you doing, man? Why are you doing that?" He was the most dangerous guy out of all of them, Ortiz. And Wilder got rid of him. Now Ortiz is in the who needs him club. You don't need him. Avoid this guy like the plague because he's too dangerous. And that's the problem. And I know
you're talking like a promoter.
I'm talking like a promoter, but I'm thinking, you know what? I'm talking like a fan as well. I'm thinking, right, okay. Ortiz wins. The most colourful fighter in the world today is Deontay Wilder. He's a heavyweight champion, American heavyweight champion, and he says the things, he does the things, and he backs up the boss. He talks the talk, walks the walk. The most saleable fighter in the world is Anthony Joshua. This guy, he's a poster boy, he does everything right. I was in America, and when Wilder boxed, we went to the weigh-in outside the Barclays Centre. These guys were walking with cameras down the road, saying to people, do you know who Anthony Joshua is? I think they were trying to make a point about how great Deontay Wilder was. They went to a guy next to me, asked him the same question, and one of them recognised me. I said, come here, give me the camera. So I turned the camera on, looked in the camera, I said, right, so we're at the Barclays Centre. The world heavyweight champion, Deontay Wilder, who's American, has just weighed in here. He's boxing here tomorrow. So just hold on 1 minute. We'll see how popular he is. So I turned the camera on. This American lady was walking up with her shopping bags. I said, excuse me, are you American? She said, yes, I am, dear. I said, do you know who Deontay Wilder is? Oh, I'm sorry, no. And so I turned to the boy and said, you have it. This guy has just weighed in. He's a world heavyweight champion. It's a crime because Deontay Wilder is one of the most colourful heavyweights in the world. And it's not Deontay's fault. I don't know what they're doing. This guy, everybody should know his name.
Whose fault is it?
Who's backing him? Who's his promoter? Who's the one that's pushing him? That's the people you want to be looking at. He should be on every bottle top, every poster, every T-shirt around the world. He can walk down the street in America. Not many people know him. He walks down the street in England. More people know him and more people rush him and crowd him. Anthony Joshua cannot walk down the street. Anthony Joshua was a world champion, was just turned pro, and Wilder was world champion. You know, Wilder should be 10 times richer, 10 times more famous, 10 times more popular, and he's got, character-wise, he's unbelievably brilliant. But I think what is going on here, this guy is an American heavyweight champion. What is going on? The role should be reversed. But Anthony Joshua is a nice guy. He's a poster boy. He's got grandmothers, mothers, sisters, brothers loving our sport. You go into every gym, everyone wants to box, do boxercise, white collar fighting. In England, boxing is front and back page. We've won awards because of boxing, because of Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko's how they conducted themselves. Deontay Wilder should be that famous. Deontay Wilder should earn more money outside boxing in endorsements than he does in the ring.
Well, the only way for him to get
that
famous would be to beat Anthony Joshua.
Maybe, but you know what? I don't think they're making the most of Deontay Wilder because everybody should know his name. Like everybody knows his name.
Almost everybody knows Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, man.
And since we've spoken, this tainted meat controversy has kicked up to another notch because Triple G, who is a very modest guy, doesn't often talk trash in this way, and I don't know if it is trash, but has flatly said he believes now that Canelo cheated before the first fight, cheating now.
What's the point? What's the point? Now listen, you get fighters and sportsmen that take drugs. Let me make it quite clear, especially in boxing. Taking drugs does not make you a better fighter. Might make you fitter, might make you take a shot better, might make your resilience better. It does not make you a better jabber. It does might give you better footwork.
It gives you an advantage if you're fitter, if you're able to make weight easier.
Technically, it does not make you a better fighter. I boxed 3 drug cheats and beat them. They were cheating on drugs, so if it gave them that much of an advantage...
Wait, Johnny, come on now.
No, listen, let me finish. So in the first fight, I was a massive fan of Canelo Alvarez, and I said, he'll beat him. And Canelo Alvarez...
Did he?
Canelo Alvarez surprised me with what he did and how he boxed. I thought, wow, you're actually better than what I thought. But he didn't beat him. It wasn't even a draw. He'd lost. You can see after 8 rounds, Canelo's thinking, what can I do? I've hit this guy as hard as I can. I've moved fast. I've moved slick. I've made him miss. I tried to outbox him. This guy's covered me on every angle. And Golovkin just walked in there and did the job. And after the fight, I said, that fight will not happen again. He's had the gypsies warning. He's got lucky and got a draw, which I don't think he should have got. I thought that fight will not happen again. So when this drug situation came out, I thought, aye, this fight's not happening. But then you look at what's involved. I'm hearing this fight is almost...
Should the fight happen? You say that... Should,
no, but the governing bodies now are justifying, saying, well, it's a mistake, they're saying about the meat and whatever. It's worth $900 million. Does that not help? Do you understand?
You keep giving me promoter answers.
No, it's not promoter. What I'm saying is, you can understand business is taking over the sport. And I'm saying, I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, what difference is it going to make? He's still going to lose. I actually don't think he'll... So if he cheated in the first fight and he didn't win, now he's being watched hard, and if he was on gear, and he's not on gear, now he's being watched hard. How is he going to win? So if he wins, there's a cloud over him because they're saying, well, you're a drug cheat. You didn't win the last time you're taking drugs. If he loses, they're saying, yeah, that's because he's not taking drugs anymore. Canelo can't win either way. But what I'm saying is, I don't think he wins anyway. And I'm not knocking Canelo because I'm a fan of his and I expect him to win. I put money in for him to win. But he didn't win the first fight. It wasn't a draw. He won't win again. And regardless of what this drug situation is, it's going to make no difference to the result, because if he was taking drugs in the first fight, why did he not win?
Radio Raheem with Johnny Nelson dropping all the science once again. Always a pleasure. As I say every time, always learn something. I had no idea that drugs didn't help you as a fighter.
I mean, you better fight.
That's news to me.
You're going to cheat. Come on, bring it on out. Beat your ass.
Radio Raheem with Johnny Nelson.